Hello, welcome to #Share a Story. I'm Nicola Walker and I'm going to be reading Why the Lighthouse Shines, written by Dottie Abshire. A lighthouse stands on the edge of the world where the sea tries to swallow the land. She beckons the lost through the darkness, guiding them home with a gentle hand. The flame lighting her brilliant beacon burns so brightly that even the thickest dark cannot dampen her spark. And every eye that sees her jolly light fills with joy at such a pleasant sight. As the ocean pummeled the coast without mercy to shape it to her will and pleasure, she found the lighthouse would not relent, and so she thrashed her with the weather. A terrifying wind screamed and shouted untrue things to shake her stones and rattle her bones and quickly snuff out her joyful light with insults hurled in the wind's delight. But the lighthouse had no ears to hear untruths, and so she shone as brightly, while the wind just screamed himself hoarse and petered out dryly. So the ocean sent accusations, a rain of condemnations. The horror she'd hear would drown her cheer and smother the light with words of spite. The ocean thought that surely the lighthouse could not withstand 1,000 slaps to face and heart and hand. Yet 1,000,000 pelts, and still a steady gleam did fill the lighthouse's face, her smile quietly in place, and glimmering without a fright, blazing away in the night. With heaving waves churning in rage, the ocean thought to drown her out. Climbing higher with every breath, the water built a towering spectre of doubt. Crashing down over her head, it was hard to keep the flame fed. And in a moment of quivering, the glow was flickering. The shadow of the ocean's might nearly capsized that brave little light. The lighthouse almost lost in that second, for she was weary of the trouble. Barely standing, she'd have liked to fall and rest instead as a pile of rubble. The ocean was greater and really did hate her and her insistent glow, which she had to show. Because when you have a little light, you must shine bravely in the night. But before the lighthouse could surrender, a tiny voice called out alone, "Hello? My light has died in the darkness. I cannot find my way home." Without another thought, the dying flame swiftly caught and burst in a blaze that pushed through the waves, shining her joyous light for a wanderer in the night. The little soul sighed in relief, seeing the lighthouse reach with hope. She grasped her oars more tightly, the light pulling her like a rope, and wrestled a way through looming, scary waves until she shored her boat and oars safely in the light of a lighthouse in the night. In the darkness of a raging ocean, it might be impossible for some to see a way to land and home and hearth, where love waits in joy and safety. That, my dear, is exactly why A brilliant lighthouse must stand by the precipice of the angry sea, smiling and shining ever so brightly, to share all her joy in spite of the stormy darkness of the night. Thank you for joining us for #ShareAStory from Roundabout Dramatherapy. Please help bring joy this season with a donation to fund a drama therapy session, empowering someone to rebuild and find their voice. Your support changes lives. Thank you.